You found this message for a reason. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe you were mindlessly scrolling. But somehow, it caught your attention. Something inside you felt the need to open this letter. So before we continue, take a deep breath. Life can be confusing. Sometimes it feels like everything is out of control. Struggles pile up, plans fall apart, doubts grow. Maybe you're asking yourself, why does everything feel so hard? Why does it seem like I'm always chasing something that never arrives? What do you want the most right now? Maybe it's money, success, love, peace. Maybe you believe that once you get it, everything will finally make sense. But what if I told you that it might not be as important as you think? That idea might seem strange, even uncomfortable. After all, we've been told our whole lives that we need to achieve something in order to be happy. But what if that chase is an illusion? By the end of this video, I want to show you a different way to look at life, a perspective that might actually bring you real relief. But first, we need to talk about the weight you're carrying right now. Do you feel like you're carrying a weight you just can't put down? Like you're always behind, always needing to achieve more, be more, have more. You're not alone. In fact, this is how the human brain is wired. It's designed to anticipate problems, seek solutions, and constantly think about the future. This ability once helped us survive. But today, it often turns into endless anxiety. Studies show that 75% of people experience high levels of stress related to the future. The fear of failure, of not being enough, of not reaching the expectations we place on ourselves. And the strangest part? Many of these expectations aren't even truly ours. They come from society, culture, social media, and the models of success we've been sold every day. But does this pressure really make sense? Think about how many times you've desperately wanted something, believing it would change your life. Maybe it was a job, a relationship, a social status. Then when you finally got it, the satisfaction faded quickly. Soon, a new desire replaced it, a new goal, a new reason to feel incomplete. Why does this happen? The answer might be simpler than you think. The search for meaning itself can be a trap. If you believe happiness only exists when you reach a certain goal, then happiness will always be somewhere in the future, something you chase but never truly experience. But what if I told you this constant chase might not be necessary? What if what you're looking for isn't actually what you need? Arthur Schopenhauer, one of the great existential philosophers, had an interesting view on life. He compared human experience to a pendulum, constantly swinging between two extremes. On one side, we have desire, the feeling of wanting something we don't have. This longing causes suffering because it makes us restless, always feeling incomplete. On the other side, we have boredom, the moment we finally get what we wanted, only to realize it wasn't as fulfilling as we imagined. This pendulum can feel cruel. We're always stuck between craving something and feeling disappointed once we have it. Modern science explains this phenomenon in an even deeper way. Studies on dopamine, the brain's happiness chemical, show that our brain releases more dopamine when anticipating a reward than when actually receiving it. In other words, we enjoy the chase more than the actual achievement. Think about something simple: buying a new phone, planning a trip, or getting a promotion. The excitement comes when you're imagining how great it will be. But once you have it, that feeling fades, and soon, you're looking for the next thing. And this doesn't just apply to material things. We do this with relationships, careers, and life goals. We work endlessly to reach something, only to find out it's not enough. The pendulum keeps swinging. So, what's the solution? Schopenhauer suggests that the best approach is acceptance. Instead of fighting against this cycle, we can step back, and see it for what it is. A pattern we don't have to be controlled by. We don't have to be trapped in an endless loop of wanting and disappointment. We can learn to focus on the present moment instead of constantly chasing a future that never fully satisfies us. If you really think about it, the most important things aren't found at the end of the road. They exist in the small moments along the way, in the things we often overlook. You don't have to be trapped by the pendulum. You can choose to step back, smile at it, and just enjoy the moment. Many of the goals we chase in life aren't truly ours. They come from the version of success we were taught. A high-paying job, financial stability, the perfect relationship, admiration from others. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, do these things actually matter to you? Or are they just expectations you accepted without questioning? A Harvard Business Review study revealed something surprising. Only 25% of people who achieve major life goals, like financial success or career milestones, report feeling deeply fulfilled. Why? Because many of these goals don't reflect who they really are. They reflect what they believe they should achieve. This doesn't mean having goals is bad. The problem is placing all your happiness in them. Think for a second. Are you chasing this goal because it truly fulfills you? Or just to prove something to yourself or others? Will it bring you peace, or just more pressure? There's something powerful in pausing and rethinking what really matters. Sometimes the answers aren't found in big achievements, but in small, everyday moments. Spending time with people you love, exploring your own curiosity, or simply appreciating where you are right now. Science supports this idea. Studies on mindfulness show that people who focus on the present moment experience lower anxiety and higher overall life satisfaction. The key isn't giving up on dreams. It's learning to live in a way where the present is just as valuable as the future. So instead of running towards something endlessly, what if you slowed down and started noticing what's already around you? Maybe what you're searching for is much closer than you think. The idea that life has no inherent meaning can sound terrifying at first. It feels like we're drifting in a universe without purpose, without direction. But what if that's actually a good thing? If nothing has a universal meaning, then you are completely free to create your own, without pressure, without impossible expectations. Optimistic nihilism invites us to see life as a blank canvas. There's no script you have to follow, no predefined goals that determine your worth. All that truly exists is right now, and that's enough. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to achieve everything. It's okay to be exactly who you are, where you are. Think about how freeing that is. Instead of being trapped by the fear of failing or not being enough, you can simply live. Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, understood this deeply. Even in the darkest moments of his life, he found meaning in the smallest things. Helping someone, appreciating beauty, holding on to hope. His happiness didn't come from achieving something great. It came from being present in the moments that mattered. That's the power of optimistic nihilism. Accepting that you don't need a grand purpose to live a meaningful life. Small moments, simple joys, and everyday experiences can be enough. So, if you feel like you're falling behind, if you think you're not where you should be, remember, life isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about experiencing the journey. And the freedom to define your own meaning is the greatest gift you'll ever have. Remember the question I asked at the beginning? About the struggles you carry and the goals that always seem just out of reach. Maybe now you're starting to see things differently. Maybe you're realizing that not everything needs to be solved, that not everything needs to be achieved. And the most important part, that's okay. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to arrive somewhere. But where exactly is there? More often than not, it's just an illusion, an endless finish line that keeps moving further away. The truth is, you don't have to be anywhere other than where you are right now. The peace you're looking for isn't in the future. It's here, in the present. If you feel like you're not everything you wanted to be, that's okay. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay not to have all the answers. Life isn't about figuring everything out. It's about living, moment by moment. So, here's the lesson this letter has for you. Take a deep breath, slow down. It's okay not to have control over everything. It's okay not to reach every goal. The real freedom comes from understanding that you are enough, just as you are. You opened this letter because, somehow, you needed to hear this today. And if these feelings ever return, come back to this message. Remember, you don't have to carry the weight of the world. You are enough, exactly as you are.